วัสดีค่ะ This is Sabai Talk, a podcast about Thai food, Thai culture, and the Thai way of living. My name is Hong Thaimee, a New York City chef and the founder of Thaimee Artisanal Sauces.
And I'm Pailin, chef and YouTuber behind hotthaikitchen.com. So today on Sabai Talk, we're going to talk about Thailand's most famous salad, that is som tam or green papaya salad. We'll talk about what it is, where it came from, all the different variations that you can have that you probably didn't know you can have, and most importantly, we will give you tips as always for how to make it at home. But first, Pi Hong, tell me, what is your fondest papaya salad memory? Because I feel like every Thai person has a papaya salad memory because it's such a big part of our diet.
It is. It's such a Thai iconic dish, right? So papaya salad or som tam, right? Okay, let's do my pre and post time of living in Thailand, okay? So before I moved to America, having som tam or papaya salad in Thailand, I just love it, as a time to get together, like with my friends, from college and everything. But then moving to America, I started to fall in love with blah la. I had no idea that I have that blah blah blood in me. And the most fond memory was that when I was a line cook, when I started my career in New York City at Spice Market, I work at, for Chef Jean-Georges, one of the most famous chef in the world. And back then, I remember he asked me, "Oh, Hong, I miss having blara in papaya salad." Isn't
Can
it
you tell
awesome?
Can you tell us what
Blara,
clara is?
Blala is a Thai fermented fish sauce, and sometimes it's almost like fish guts and all those. It's like a fermented way of preserving fish.
Mm-hmm.
And if you were to cut, you know, they bleed the E10 people in Thailand, the blala is still coming out, right? Because it's such a part of the culture.
What you're saying is Isan people have clara in their blood.
Yes, I mean it's and you know what I love now too, that the world is so developed and the food science has been much more advanced. Now we can find blala in pasteurized blala in the bottle.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I love it.
So clara, just to clarify, is an ingredient that is commonly added to papaya salad, but it's not always added. It's commonly added, especially in the Isan region, in the northeast region, but people in the central Thailand, a lot of times they don't like it, they don't eat it. But now Chef Hong explained that it is fermented fish sauce, but it's not the same as the other fish sauce that most people are familiar with because one, it's made from freshwater fish, and it could be any number of fish. You can make para with different kinds of fish. It's got rice bran added, and it's unfiltered. So the whole, all of the fish, the bits, everything is in there. So it's murky. It's not clear like the fish sauce that you buy from the store. So it's a lot funkier smelling.
It's like an OG of super fish sauce, and it's so it like it could be it's a kind of seasoning that it truly make som tam style, I mean Isan style som tam, super awesome. And at the same time, it can turn people away because it really takes some guts, I would say, for a non-Thai to try that.
Right. Okay, so that is a very that's how your fondest papaya salad memory extended into our explanation of clara.
Yes, and because then I learned that, maybe growing up in Thailand, blala back then when we were a kid, it kind of upset my stomach a little bit. But then it started to pasteurize, and when like when I grew up a little bit, I cannot live without blala in my papaya salad.
Interesting.
So we'll talk. Palate has changed.
Yeah, well, I think most people's palates change as they get older for sure. We'll talk more about blara. We'll talk more about blara and types of papaya salad in a little bit. But my fondest memory of papaya salad was actually in 8th grade. So I was going to school in Bangkok at this time. And in eighth grade, we had a project where we had to do a how-to presentation in front of the class. Like you can teach the class how to do anything. Okay, the point is to like, how do you give instructions? And I decided that I was going to show people how to make som tam. Eighth grade, 14 years old, I hauled the mortar and pestle to school. And I had my first cooking show in my life.
I was going to say, is that like the very, very first episode of Your Hot Thai Kitchen?
I mean, it really was. And I remember, like other kids got up in class and they teach whatever random things they were teaching, how to bathe a dog, how to do whatever. And then I got up there and I pretended to have a cooking show called Bon Appetit. So I got up. And I said, hello, everyone, and welcome to Bon Appetit. And I can see my English teacher sitting in the back of the room, completely losing her mind. She was laughing. She was just loving it. She almost like choked on her drink. It was so funny. I got such a reaction.
Had it happened nowadays, you probably would be able to film it, right?
Yeah, I know, but there's no record of it. No. And then I remember, so I was showing people how to make it. And then I said, and to make it extra good, you have to add a little bit of MSG. And I brought to school a little bag of MSG and I put it in because back then I thought that papaya salad without MSG is just not as good.
That is
oh my
cute.
God. So that was my very first cooking show. I think I got a very good score on that presentation.
So you say you were in fourth grade?
Eighth grade.
Oh,
so I was 14 at this time.
That's so cute. 14-year-old Pailin started her show.
Yeah,
right back there and then teaching,
salad.
Making papaya salad. So
And
did you do it the Thai style or you do it Thai? When we say Thai, because in Thailand we have variety, right? But the main we say som tam Thai or som tam pala.
Som tam Lao,
right?
There's many types. I did Thai style. Because that was the style that my family ate. We didn't eat para at home, even though my mom is from Isan. Like her family didn't eat para. Yeah, but I did Thai style, and we'll go into a little more detail about what Thai style is. All right, let's get into the basics first. For those who are not familiar, how would you define som tam?
Wow. Okay, let's do it word by word, okay? Som, it means sour. Okay? Tam, it's mean to pound it. So I think like it is a pounding action that makes something, like sour. I would just say like that's part of the flavor element of this.
Yeah.
But then if you were not going to translate word by word like that, it is some kind of a papaya, green papaya, that we in the old days we just used knives and slice, right? But today we have the slice. What do you call the peeler?
A julienne peeler.
A julienne peeler. That's true. You guys should search. Those who listen at home, a julienne peeler can save the day. I used to have a cooking class at my old restaurant, and then when I taught the som tam class, the papaya salad class, and I showed them the julienne peeler, they all were excited to have one. And I used to sell that at the restaurant. It's funny.
It's so useful for more than just papaya. So papaya salad, for those who can't imagine it in their head, the papaya is in little shreds, like little julienne, little sticks. And back in the day, we used to just use a knife to create those sticks. But with the julienne peeler, it just makes the job so much easier. Yeah. Although the texture of the resulting papaya is a little different, I find, between using a knife and using a julienne peeler.
True.
But it's so much easier.
Yeah.
And I would add also that papaya salad is a dish that is originated in the northeastern region of Thailand,
aka Isan, that we've been talking, that we've been saying.
So the word Isan means northeastern Thailand and or Laos. So Isan and Laos are right next door to each other, and papaya salad is local to both regions. So I don't want anyone from Laos saying, "Hey, you're claiming our food." But in Laos, they call it tam mak hung. Mak
Yeah,
hung means
bak
tam mak
hung,
hung
right?
means
Yeah.
papaya. Mahung means papaya. Tam means to pound, the same word. And interestingly, in Isan, so in my mom and my grandma call it tam som. That's what they call it in Isan region. So they reverse the words. Tam and then som comes after. But in central dialect, we reverse the word and say som tam. So a little fun fact
In
for you.
northern Thai, we call it tam som as well.
Oh, really? Ah,
Yeah.
so north and northeastern, they call it tam som. Yeah. Yes. Now, there are many, many types of som tam, but I would say that the key ingredients you have to have, no matter what kind of som tam you make, is garlic, right? Chilies. It's always spicy. You can make it as spicy as you want, but I feel like som tam has to be at least a little bit spicy. Fish sauce, lime juice. This is the som part of the ingredient, right? The sour. You cannot have som tam without lime juice. Absolutely not. And then, of course, the papaya. And then everything else is basically optional, right? Like some people like to add long beans, tomatoes, peanuts, dried shrimp. Central style, they like to add sugar to make it a little sweeter. You can add plara to make it funkier. You can add pickled crab, all sorts of different things. But those are optional.
Yeah. So basically, you have something spicy. We know the chili, right? Something sour. I would say that typically I would add on tamarind concentrate as well.
Oh, yes, that's right. Tamarind. Yeah, I do that too. Yes.
And
for
I
the salad.
find for the sugar bits, I always use namtan pi, the Thai palm sugar, coconut sugar,
Yeah.
which I find it rounds everything up.
Yes, yes. I always say that if you add white sugar, it just adds sweetness and no flavor. But if you add palm sugar, it adds sweetness, it adds aroma, it adds flavor. You just get
Yeah.
more for your buck, and the dish will end up becoming more complex at the end.
Can I tell you a secret in my life right now that I make it different?
Yes.
I cut white sugar from my system.
Oh.
I have no white sugar at home. It's lost calories.
Yay.
So yeah,
for you.
I don't want sweet. I want sweetness, but I don't want things just to be sweet.
Just to be sugar, right? Yeah,
Just
for
no.
sure. And there are certain Thai dishes where I would say, if you don't have palm sugar, white sugar is fine, like curry, for example, because the flavor is so strong. You only add a little bit of sugar. It won't matter as much if you add white or palm sugar. But when it comes to papaya salad, I feel it really makes a difference if you add palm sugar because it's a salad. The flavors are simpler. You will be able to taste that little extra flavor that comes from your palm sugar. All right, so let's talk a bit about where did papaya salad came from. And I was trying to do some research on this, and we actually don't know for sure. Like it's such an old dish that we don't have any record of where it came from. But we do know that papaya came to Thailand from Central America. So many ingredients that are so important to Thai cuisine is not native to Thailand. So papaya is one of them. Chilies is another one. So papaya would not exist if we didn't have Portuguese explorers going to Thailand during the Ayutthaya period and bringing us all these produce. So they think it's about 300 years ago that papaya came. And then the dish, as we mentioned before, probably originated in the northeastern region of Thailand / Laos.
When you mentioned about the Portuguese that brought all these exotic ingredients back then for us, right?
Yeah.
A couple of years ago, I got to travel to São Paulo in Brazil.
Oh.
And there's a lot of Portuguese influence in the country, right? Walking in the fresh market in São Paulo, it feels like home. It feels like Thailand, the smell, the ingredients of the food and all those stuff. It just, the more and more I travel and learn more about food and where the ingredients are from, the more and more I feel like we are the world. We are connected,
Yes.
So yeah, I find this so fascinating that 300 years ago, we got this from all the merchant that travel the world, and they want the spice from our part of the world, right? And not knowing they've been sharing so much, and now it's become part of our daily lives.
I mean, it's hard to imagine Thai food without all these ingredients that came to us from Central America, like chilies, papaya, even tomatoes. We don't use tomatoes that much, but it's such an important part in som tam specifically. And there are probably other ingredients that I don't even know is not local to Thailand. So we mentioned that tam means to pound. So let's talk about the pounding technique. Why do we use it for this dish? Why is it important?
I want to know your technique first, and then I'll see if it's like mine.
Oh, I see. Okay, I'll tell you what I do. So first, the pounding I think is important in making a paste of the garlic and chilies, right? So get the garlic and chilies to really break down. And it wouldn't be the same if you chopped it, because chopping it, you still get like little pieces of garlic, whereas pounding it into a paste, it just distributes the flavor evenly. And then you also pound the vegetables to bruise them. And by bruising them, you sort of like open them up you kind of like be able to force the flavors of the dressing into the vegetables. And then with tomatoes, the bruising also releases the tomato juice, which becomes a part of the dressing. So it just, the pounding to me forces the ingredients to exchange flavor mechanically.
Correct, because malakal or papaya, basically it has no flavor.
Yeah.
It just crunch. You know, there's like kind of super mild. It could be bitter if you don't do it right, right?
Yeah.
So you need to pound to release the texture so that it absorbs the flavors. But for me, I do not like my garlic and my chili into paste. I just like to pound to just break it up.
Oh, interesting.
But then when I do my motion, okay?
Yeah.
And first of all, when we do this in a crock, okay? Stone mortar and pestle, but instead of use the mortar and pestle that made from stone, we do with clay, and the pestle made with wood, because we don't want it to mash. We just want it to relax the texture a little bit.
Yes,
Correct?
it's a light pounding.
Correct. And how I do it, I rotate my hands. I use one hand to pound and the other with the spoon to rotate it together.
Yeah. Yeah.
So all the, oh my God, I'm salivating as I'm talking about this with no MSG. So I pound, and then I kind of use like two hand doing the two motion, one pound, one scoop and stir.
Yes. So in
Doop, 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 up and down.
when I was writing my book, because this is a technique that is difficult to describe using words without seeing.
Yeah.
But I ended up describing it as the pound and flip. So
Correct.
you pound a couple of times, use the pestle, and then you use the spoon. It would be like a big serving spoon to flip things from the bottom to the top. And then you use your other hand. So in slow motion, it would look like you pound a few times, you flip. You pound a few times, you flip. But if you look at the pros on the street, this happens so fast, and they're using such a giant mortar that they're almost pounding and flipping at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah,
at home, it's a little harder because our mortars tend to be smaller. So you kind of have to do things one at a time. But basically, it's a pound, flip, pound, flip. And that's how you get things bruised and mixed together.
I think when you say bruise, it's just like relaxing the texture and the all the dressing would just come in. But
Yes,
here is the very interesting part. We call it salad because there's no other word for this. Because in Western world, when we do salad outside of Thailand, some of them use oil to carry the flavors, but we don't really do that. So in some way, it's more like a fresh pickle of some sort.
Yeah, I've never thought about it like that, but you're absolutely right. It's like an instant pickle. You're you're like taking the vegetables and like forcing it to absorb this acidic, salty
Mm-hmm.
dressing, and then
Mm-hmm.
off you go. Yeah. That's a really good way of thinking
One
about it.
time when I designed food for Asia for Red, I did this red burger, okay?
Mm.
And I make a Thai burger with green papaya pickle. So basically, I just pickle the shredded papaya with the dressing of the
Mm.
tamarind, the sugar, the lime juice, the fish sauce. Excellent.
Wow.
I did
So,
not say a trademark here, so anybody can try that at home.
so and if you want to see like how important the pounding is, you can try making a papaya salad
Hmm.
by making a dressing and then just tossing it with the vegetables. You will notice it is not the same.
Can I share something fun? Okay.
Yes.
Eat global like locals. Okay. There's one big burger brand. I cannot say.
Okay.
They have a location in Thailand, and a couple of years ago, did you remember how they serve their papaya salad?
In the shaker cup.
Correct.
I remember
That's
that.
how that's how they pow their papaya salad.
It was so awful.
It's a brand that starts with. Should we give a hint a little bit?
You can just
Yeah,
say it.
nah.
No. Let's just say the item has been discontinued for many years because
Yeah.
it's not good. So this was
Mm-hmm.
McDonald's, and they made papaya salad. They imagine like a frappuccino cup with a dome lid. Okay, so that you put the papayas and stuff inside, and then you put the dressing, and then you just shake it up, and it was so awful. And
Well, you.
like, ugh. And I think like, how can you come up with that when like right outside of any McDonald's, there's like real papaya salads for less money?
Well, you have to give them some credit for at least they're trying, right?
Yes, they're
But
trying.
another fun fact: somehow, fast food, American fast food, when they travel to Thailand, it becomes a fine dining kind of thing. Isn't that sad?
It becomes
It's not
let's just
fine dining,
say
but it's more
it's not.
expensive. It is not fast food. Yeah,
Yes, it becomes a little fancier
fancy. Yeah,
than they are in their
yeah,
original country. Yeah.
yeah. And then
Yeah.
they try to acclimate to local palates. That's
Yes.
why they make some thumb in a cup and shake it.
Yes. Needless to say, that didn't go well. There are many other fusion dishes that work. That like
Mm-hmm.
I think KFC does a fried chicken khao yam gai sap. Have you had it?
Mm-hmm.
It's like
Mm-hmm.
fried chicken tossed in like a lap dressing over rice. That is actually
Yeah.
really good, and it's been on the menu for many years because it actually
Mm-hmm.
works. But then there are other
Well, they
things
should have
that
called
don't
us
work.
prior to launching because we would have given them some good tips.
Yes. Yes, exactly. Oh, I was gonna say something about. Oh, that's right. Our Canadian listeners will get a kick out of this. So for the American listeners, you know Krispy Kreme, right? And I want to
Uh-huh.
make a point about
Oh my God.
what happens to American fast food when it goes to Thailand. So Krispy Kreme went to Thailand many years ago, but it was a sensation. It was like people were lining up for hours for this fancy American donut. People were paying people to line up for them to buy this fancy American donut. And in the States, it's like cheap
Hmm?
donuts that, like it's just the furthest thing from fancy donuts you can possibly imagine. And then so the Krispy Kreme fad has died. Krispy Kreme is still in Thailand, but no one is lining up for it anymore. You know what just came to Thailand a few years ago? Tim Hortons. Tim Hortons is like the Canadian
Yeah, I
Krispy
know.
Kreme.
Yep. Yeah.
And the same thing happened. People got so excited about it. It's like, oh my God, this fancy Canadian donut. And I'm sitting here going, oh my God, I don't even go to Tim Hortons because that's the donuts you buy when you have to feed 50 people on a budget. Like this is not this is not donuts you buy when you want to eat good quality donuts. But Thai people just get so excited because it's like a novelty.
Western thing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
it
a
is.
novelty.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Yeah.
a little tangent, but interesting one nonetheless.
Mm-hmm.
So we've talked so far about somtam that uses papaya as the main ingredient, but you can also make somtam without papaya. There are many different kinds now. Do you have a favorite of non-papaya tam type salad?
Like, okay, my friend owns and operate Som Tam Der, which has, they make Isan food to Michelin level. And then I saw in their menu, Tam Luang Prabang. And I was like, what is Tam Luang Prabang? Which is a town in Laos, right?
Yes, yes.
And it was like, oh yeah, they have a tiny bit of green papaya, shredded
Yeah.
green papaya, but they have khanom which is rice vermicelli noodle, fermented rice vermicelli noodle, and then they have all kinds of things. Actually, no, I'm wrong. Tam luang prabang is instead of like making shredded papaya, they use a peeler and make it into noodles.
Oh, like
I
sheets
think
of
yes, like a
papaya.
sheet, like more like a tactellini. Do I pronounce it right? Like a thicker
Tagliatelle. Yeah,
pasta,
yeah, yeah. Yes,
tagliatelle.
yes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Oh, that's
yeah,
interesting.
yeah. And it was
My
like,
My favorite is corn. If you use sweet
mm,
corn, slice off the
mm,
cob and use that instead of
mm,
papaya. Oh, it's so good, especially if you love something a little sweeter, if you love the flavor of
mm.
corn with
Especially in the
cucumber.
summer.
Mm,
In the
yes.
summer, in North America, sweet corn such a gem, right?
Yes. Yes.
Especially with cherry tomatoes and
Yes.
corn together with the dressing.
And let me
Yum
tell
yum.
you, tomatoes in North America are so much better than tomatoes in Thailand. There are no sadder tomatoes than tomatoes in Thailand. They're always
Oh,
so.
don't say that. Come to Chiang Mai next time when we go home. I'll take you to Chiang Mai where we have like farmland and we grow stuff.
Yes.
I,
But
I
if you
almost
buy
cursed
tomatoes
again.
from a supermarket, you go to
Oh
like
no no
a
no.
supermarket in Bangkok and you buy tomatoes, they're always like underripe and not very flavorful.
But I have to say
Anyway,
though, the supermarkets in Bangkok so fancy. It's so
yes.
fancy. The presentation, everything's like whoa. But anyway, go back. Go back to our papaya
Go
salad
papaya salad.
conversation.
Point being, if you've got really good fresh produce wherever you live, those are all potential materials to make a somtam, to make a good
Mm,
somtam. So even if you don't
mm-hmm,
have green papaya, which can be hard to
mm-hmm,
find, you can use kohlrabi, any crunchy vegetables.
mm-hmm.
Jicama makes a really good substitute as well.
Cabbage.
Yes,
Cabbage.
cabbage.
Amazing. It's
Yes.
almost like a Thai slaw, like
Yes.
a flash pickle slaw. It's so good.
In fact, I told this story in my book Sabai, but my parents spent some time in the US in the 80s. And
Mm-hmm.
when she came here, there were no green papayas, obviously, back
Mm-hmm.
then. And she started using cabbage instead to make somtam out of her own idea. Nobody was giving her idea,
Mm-hmm.
but she just thought, well, this is like a crunchy vegetable. And she fell in love with it that she kept talking about it. And when I was getting ready to leave to come to Canada, she kept
Mm-hmm.
telling me, if you want somtam and you can't find papaya, just use cabbage, okay? It's so good. That was like
How
my mom's
cute.
parting advice. It was like, she didn't give me any other advice. Just say, if you need somtam, just use
Maybe
cabbage.
maybe she still remember the picture of you in 8th grade hauling your crock to the school.
I know. Oh my God. I remember the look of the school bus when I took it on the school
Yeah.
bus and the school bus supervisor, like the adult that was on the bus, she was looking at me like, where are you? Are you going to the market? Like, what is happening here?
Oh.
Oh, but let's go back a little bit to talk about the styles of somtam because I realize we haven't talked about it yet. Thai style or somtam Thai versus Lao style or
Mm-hmm.
somtam Lao. What is the
Mm-hmm.
difference?
The Thai style, believe it or not, sometimes they don't even pound it. They just use a hand to mix
Oh,
it
I
up a little
see.
bit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Especially like Royal Thai style or Central Thai when they make khao yam som tam. That pretty much,
ข้าวมันส้มตำ
I'm so sorry, khao man som tam. They just shredded papaya and in the old days just like big knife, chop, chop, chop and slice, right? So it's thicker and nothing but lime juice, fish sauce, some chili, peanut, pretty much it, and serve with coconut rice. Okay, so that is very tam Thai, very to me right now, where my palate has opened up to any kind of flavors. To me, tam Thai is a little bit on the boring side. Okay. But what I love more is add on to som tam to the the on the other side of the algorithm, right?
Mm-hmm.
I love now with blah blah with fermented fish sauce, with pickle farm crab. When I say farm crab, it means rice field crabs. Okay, it means like the lower part that people just like pick them up from the rice field and ferment that. Jeez, it's so good. I
Yeah.
never thought that I would enjoy sucking that while having papaya. That's so good. And then sometimes I see that with kai kem.
Salted duck.
Som tam dok kai kem. Oh my goodness, it's so good.
Yeah. So Thai style, I would say it's not funky at all. And that's the
No.
style that most Thai restaurant in the US serve.
Mm-hmm.
Like if it's just like a place with one type of som tam, that's the style
Mm-hmm.
that they have. No para, no funky stuff, just a fresh and simple, slightly sweet kind of salad.
Sweet
But
to the point where sometimes you feel the table is so sticky, because all the sugar,
yes.
sprinkle on top of the table.
And Lao
Yeah.
style is not sweet. Like
Mm-mm.
they add sugar just to balance, but it's mostly salty and sour and very funky smelling. Usually also, do they add peanuts in Lao style?
Yeah, sometimes they do.
Sometimes,
Some
yeah.
Lao say it depends. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Here's the deal about Thai food. You can go to papaya salad stall. Okay. Anywhere. Most of the time it's in the middle of the street, which we call soy. Okay. Or under the big tree somewhere. Right? You know that.
Yeah.
And you can tell the papaya salad woman, most of the time is a woman, right?
Yes, yes.
And we would say, I would love to have papaya salad tam Lao, right?
Yes.
Papaya salad, Laotian style. 2 chilies, little bit of sour and a little bit of sugar. Like
Yes.
you can customize your flavors.
Yes.
And if you have your Stammgast, I mean, if you have, that is a German word for like a regular. If when you have your go-to place,
Yeah.
the person, somtam maker, he or she will remember your
Yes.
flavor profile.
Yes.
Isn't that awesome?
Yeah. You can say less sweet, extra
Yeah.
chilies,
No
no
MSG.
peanuts. Yeah, extra crab. You can make your own. You just tell them
Yep.
what you want and they will do it. There's no like none of these people will be like, "No, like this is how I make my." No. Like papaya
No.
salad is a flexible thing, right? They just
Yeah.
ask you what you want. And so I want to expand a little bit on the pickled crab because some people might not be able to imagine what it is. These are tiny crabs. They're maybe like 2 inches big.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
Like when
little
you see,
crab.
I don't want to paint terrible pictures, but you know that scene in Mummies where a lot of crickets come out, like that size.
Yeah.
Sorry, listener, but what I mean is like a 2 inches black color,
Yeah,
super petite baby crab,
And then what you do
black
is
in black, yeah,
you soak them in
salt,
primarily
yeah.
fish sauce. And then some people add sugar, some people add some vinegar, but it's going to be primarily a fish sauce solution. I've seen some people using the liquid from pickled garlic to make their pickled crab. But anyway, it's raw. And when you add it to papaya salad, you might be wondering, well, how do you eat it? Because the crab is in the shell. So you'll pound it until they break, and then you suck the meat out of the crab bodies and legs. It's very ungraceful. This is not what you would order if you're having a business lunch where you're wanting to look, polite and gracious. This is what you eat with close friends where you're not afraid to be sucking things and using your hands. But the meat is a little sweet, I would say.
Yeah, like a
Right?
sweet and salty at the same time. It has its own charm, don't you
Yes,
think?
yes,
Like when
yes.
you suck it a little bit, but that doesn't sound anyway. But I have to say though that it could be charming to people if you want to, get to know your business partner a little bit more.
Yes.
Give them some good
If you
experience
if
of
you want
taking
like
them
something
to the street market in Thailand, sit down, eating papaya salad and customize your flavors with a cart lady, and
this is how you judge their character, how they're
this
able to
yes.
handle the crab.
Correct. How do you keep yourself warm under pressure?
Um,
That's true. That's true.
yes. And I want to tell people out there that if you don't like plara, that's nothing wrong with that. Like a lot of
No.
Thai people don't eat plara too. Like it's not something like, oh, if you're real hardcore, you have to eat plara. No, like I personally like plara in only small doses. I don't like a
Mm-hmm.
heavily plara
Mm-hmm.
flavored things either. So it's just a preference. If you don't like it, nothing wrong with that at all.
As I mentioned, I never liked Blara until I'm an adult in the United
Mm-hmm.
States.
Yeah. And
So,
nowadays, the Plara products taste so good. Like, back in the day, Plara was something you make at home. Like, you don't buy
mm-hmm,
from the store. You just like take
mm-hmm.
some fish, you let it ferment under your kitchen sink or whatever, and it's just very hardcore funky. But now they make bottled stuff that is safe and clean, and the flavors tend to be a little bit more mellow. And they add some herbs, they add seasoning to make it like I find those things much easier to use. You still get a little funkiness of para, but not so it's not so overwhelming.
Mm-hmm.
You can buy
I
these
think we
products
should
now.
have one episode dedicated to that. It's a very fascinating ingredients for Thai culture.
Yeah, and I would
Mm-hmm.
have to invite somebody who makes para at home to come and share
Do you
with
know
us their
any?
tricks. I do. I do.
Awesome. In outside of Thailand or
Yeah,
here?
yeah, outside of Thailand.
Oh,
Well,
cool.
yeah, in
Or
the
here when
US.
it yeah. Oh,
He's in the US. Yeah.
amazing. That's so
They make their
awesome.
own. Actually, when I used to work in a Thai restaurant in San Francisco, one of the ladies, one of the aunties that worked at the restaurant, she made
Mm-hmm.
her own para in the restaurant just for her
My
own food.
goodness.
Like she just had
Wow.
like a little jar, and when she
Yeah.
was making her own lunch, she'd be like, "Do you want some para in your som tam?" And I was like, "Oh
Amazing.
man."
Wow.
Yeah, and she like
Yeah.
pulled it out from under the counter because
How
you don't want
amazing.
people to just run
Yes,
into it.
yes, yes. But like how we talk about this in the other episode, how Thai love papaya salad or som tam is
Yes.
how we describe it. It has to be sap, right?
Yes.
It has to be, and part of sap is this fermented flavors. Oh God, I'm salivating so badly right now, but it's
So
worth it. Love
is
talking about this.
sap is a Lao slash Isan dialect word that
Mm-hmm.
actually just means delicious. Like that's what
Mm,
it
mm,
literally means. But
mm-hmm,
when you say
mm-hmm.
sap, it usually also means delicious and spicy and
Correct.
sour. And it's not just like something is yummy. It's something is yummy,
Yep.
makes your adrenaline is going, you're sweating, you're like,
Yep.
you know,
Yep.
it's
And also these days there's a new term, fin, right?
yes, yes, yes,
Fin.
yes.
I don't know
Fin
where it
means
started from.
so satisfying. It comes from like grand finale. Yeah,
Oh,
it, it
I was just
it's
thinking it might be from feelings, but
no, I knew this
ah,
when the word fin started to become a thing in the Thai language. It came from the word grand finale, where it's like such a satisfying feeling to see the
yes.
grand finale. So fin means
Mm.
the food that makes you so like, oh, that really hit the spot, so satisfactory. Like yeah.
For me to have that thin feeling at the papaya salad stall, somehow most of the time it has to be in the middle of the soy. Okay, depends on
Yes.
which friend's house that I visit or whatever. And then each soy, which is a small sub street in Bangkok, I always have that papaya salad stall, stand, cart, whatever you want to call it. And you know what I like? I like that now they extend it into a small barbecue joint, and I love
Mm.
having the praduk yang, the catfish, the grilled catfish to go along with papaya salad.
We didn't talk about what to eat with papaya salad. You never eat papaya salad just by itself. No.
Mm-mm,
At the
mm-mm.
very least, you need sticky rice. at the
Yeah.
very least. And then
Yes.
usually some kind of meat like barbecued chicken, barbecued pork, grilled catfish, like you mentioned. So this is sort of the standard papaya salad accompaniments.
Yep. Yeah. So I think it is the way that we not, again, Thai food, we have variety of dishes at once, right? We always
Yes.
share. So even when we say papaya salad, yeah, is a main, like a main character, right? But they have supporting characters, around on the table. And I think like that is a good way to save your tummy too, because if you have it too much spice, it might hurt your
Yes,
your
you need
digestive system a little bit.
you need something to neutralize
Toned
the
it,
acid.
yes. Yeah.
An interesting part. So my mom, as I've mentioned a few times, is from Korat, which is in the northeast. And one thing that people do there is they eat papaya salad with pad mi Korat, which is a stir-fried noodle dish, very similar to pad Thai, but slightly different. But the two go so well together. When my grandma makes pad mi Korat, which she does all the time, we often make somtam to go with it. Because the somtam is like sour and light and spicy, and the pad mi is like it's carby and it's rich. Man, the two just go so well together.
And believe it or
Match
not,
made
I
in
think
heaven.
it is. Funny, in Chiang Mai, we don't really eat it. I don't know. I don't think we even have pad mi Chiang Mai,
Pad-
But my mom told me one time that pad see ew goes so well with papaya salad.
Same
It's
concept.
same concept,
Yes,
right?
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Interesting. To tone it down.
Yes. Okay, before we wrap up, we have to talk about tips for making somtam at home. So what tips do you have, especially if people don't have the traditional mortar and pestle that's typically used?
First of all, if you don't have the, like mortar and pestle, don't let that stop you from trying. Okay. I know how much you love this dish. Okay. And let me share with you my happy accident in the kitchen. My brain thinks all the time. She knows now after working with me for some times. I shredded the green papaya, and I sometimes put in the Ziploc bag. And then I use rolling pin, pound that, boom, 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 and then transfer that onto the mixing bowl. Okay. And I do the same thing. Like when you break nuts in American style, right? Either in a towel or something like that. In a Ziploc bag, you kind of pound the garlic, the chili, and the green papaya, transfer that down, and then I put gloves on and give them a Thai massage.
Oh, that's brilliant. Good idea.
And that you could have very tasty, gorgeous papaya salad to serve. And I always put the fresh lime juice, and I always massage the whole thing with the lime zest. Because
With
I
the
love,
skin, yeah.
correct. Like I'm a very, I like it all. I push limits at all time, right? So the juice is great, but once you have with the peel, the zest, and you squeeze it together, the aromatic oil from the limes, like get into the dish as well. Same goes to the tomatoes.
Yes.
And I always only put peanuts if needed at the end. So that my peanuts still keep crunchy. And then if I entertain at home and we were going to do this dish, I always ask if there's, food allergies, right?
Yes. You
And
definitely
peanut
wanna
allergy is
establish
real.
that.
Correct.
Yes.
So I just
You
don't
won't-
have to, or I just put it on the side so people can just, add that on.
I have one tip to add to that. I love the massaging and the Ziploc bag pounding tip. But for those of you who have a small mortar and pestle at home, which a lot of people do, have just a small one, but you can't make the whole salad in it. What you can do is make everything else in it. So your garlic, your chilies, make the dressing, even add the tomatoes, whatever will fit. And then you transfer it into a mixing bowl to mix your
Mm-hmm.
papaya, and then use Chef Hong's Thai massage technique to mix the papaya and the
Mm-hmm.
dressing together. So that's
Mm-hmm.
one thing that you can easily do as well.
Mm-hmm.
With my peanuts, I have a slightly different philosophy. Like if I know that the people eating are not allergic and I can put it in, I put half of it in because I
Yeah.
like to pound the peanuts, and the peanuts sort of break into little pieces and it almost thickens the dressing. So the
Mm-hmm.
dressing itself will have a peanut flavor. And then
Mm-hmm.
the other half I put on top so that it will remain crunchy. So that is if you like your dressing to have like a little bit of a richer peanutty flavor. Or you can just leave it all at the end like Chef Hong does. So again, this is a very flexible dish. Some people don't put it at all, and there's nothing wrong with that too.
Exactly. And I just thought about this now. I think somtam is a great accompaniment to your grilled steak, your roast
Yes.
chicken, your
Mm-hmm.
lobster,
Yes.
your anything great protein. I
Yeah.
guarantee.
Go to Costco, buy the rotisserie chicken, and then make the som tam, and it'll make your rotisserie chicken so much
Oh
better.
my God, what a wonderful, that's a good show for you. How much is the rotisserie chicken in Canada?
At Costco, like I don't know, $10.
See?
So cheap.
$15 dinner for two. How cool is
Exactly.
that?
Exactly.
And if you don't have sticky rice, it's fine. You can just have it with jasmine or, make it fancy with coconut rice, right?
Yeah,
Don't
coconut
let
rice.
anything stop you from tasting new flavors. Try. It's not rocket science. It you just have to try.
Yes, and we will put relevant recipes as always in the show notes so you can go and look look up these things.
Hmm.
Okay. I think we're just about done. We've covered everything that's important about our favorite salad in Thailand, som tam.
Tam som.
Tam som.
Som tam or tam som. Som tam or tam som.
Som tam.
Tam
Som
som.
tam som. Tam som. To say it
That is
in the
I love your dialect. That's
the
Isan
Isan
dialect.
dialect. Yeah. Tam
The
som.
North would do tam som som tam. No, now I'm confused. Yeah. Don't listen to me. And
Anyway.
those who get to travel to Thailand, try to customize your own papaya salad next time you see the papaya salad stand. You
Yes.
will love that experience.
Yes. You can tell them exactly how many chilies you want in it.
Correct. Yep.
Yes. All right. If you want to get in touch with us, you can write into us at sabaitalk@hongthaimee.com. And if you want to get in touch with me, I am at Hot Thai Kitchen on Instagram, and my website is hotthaikitchen.com.
And if you like to say hello to me, it is at Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, everything under Hong Taimee. Thank you so much for spending time listening and learning together about papaya salad. We love you enjoyed this episode.
We'll see you next time. สวัสดีค่ะ
สวัสดีค่ะ